I don't think you feel any of that down on their side, as you have a heavy offensive firepower crew led by Teo Snooey, 8th in the NCAA in total blocks. What a matchup we have on our hands as Jessup sends it across for this one.
Yeah, my name's Max Agress, bringing you the action here alongside Alejandro. Great start for the Stanford team. They go right to their middle, highest percentage attacking, and Luke McFall collects play.
Now that one's deflected back, and the strong defense of Jessup makes its presence known early. As mentioned before, Clement Osahan.
They're only 6'5" in Osahan.
As he's the one who sends it away, and that one just goes straight out. That lined up perfectly off of the deflection there, and a
system. That is going to be the key for the Cardinal tonight.
And here comes Jessup again with the serve, and again, as we mentioned, Jessup, a young serve, and keep the momentum going at Jessup right there with a big service error.
100%. Stepping on the line is just one of those mental mistakes. 17 days off between their last match on
Jessup on their response. Too strong, and the Cardinal 2 in a row.
Looking to collect some hands on the way out. Stanford doing a really
hard for the Cardinal, got the action going. And now the Cardinal 2 in a row with the momentum, and McFall looks to...
We're at Maple, so the court dimensions stay the same, but it's how tight and close everything feels here in Burnham. Everything's so much smaller.
Maples is usually the home for most volleyball matches. Good setback, but again, great denial.
Yeah, splitting both sides, and I let it back and you just recycle it.
That was Kamana Carrera right there who sent that one down, and with the serve is Moses Wagner. Team leader Roman was there on the stop.
I misspoke earlier. Wapush is actually the tallest player at 6'7". It's really interesting to see the way that these teams set it up. Like on the first
6'6", Moses Wagner was the one who was able to get that one. And it looks like hitting the nets is going to be the violation there on the Cardinal. So the Cardinal able to show the ability to score as we...
306 in sets they won against Irvine, and they're hitting 133. So it's staying consistent and allowing yourself the opportunities, not taking those shots away, as we see an error on the way at Jessup with the service error.
Career, and you know, when you have a young program like Jessup, that puts you first in the overall team standings and overall records.
We'll get back to Wapush in a moment after this play. You have a lot of very talented players coming out from different programs. You talked about it earlier, Osahan coming from Concordia, and then you have players like Wapush that won the Player of the Year award in the NCAA a year ago.
Sent down, Moses Wagner answers right back, and the Cardinal keeping the distance right now. The biggest,
you know, I'm the best player on the team as well.
Don't forget about Wagner, 4.2 points per set. 5th overall in the MPSF. But here's their top player.
Ton of carbon coming from that volcano.
Messing with the elements. Jonas Mueller was the one who served it away, and that's a
macro attack from Rotman.
And that's the thing for the Stanford Cardinal, a 1-6 team, but as you mentioned before, this isn't indicative of what this team is and what they've shown, as that one's going to be deflected back. Again, great defense by Osahan, but just
all of them 34-12.
As that one is sent away, that is Luke McFall who's the one who sent it away. Oh, my apologies. Briette versus them. Number 5, UC Irvine, lost twice. Number 12, Lewis. Number 6, Loyola Chicago. And number 16, Ball State. As that ball was hard to handle. Sent down, and what a finish by Alex Rotman.
Rotman so far.
Here's it sent over by Teo Snooey. They're setting up the big man, and it's rejected, but another offensive opportunity.
I think that's the difference. Stanford started 3 different setters this year, but when you have a guy like Darren Briette in there, you have your senior, he knows how to run the system, and he has the skill and ability to put it in.
What a great gather, and too strong on the response by Wapush.
More importantly, they're allowed to fly by.
And you've had the advantage of calling a couple Stanford games, and the biggest thing you said is Teo Snooey makes a service error again. And the biggest thing that you...
5 team in the country down to 5 sets. You've taken to 4 sets in the first matchup. This is an incredibly talented team filled with upperclassmen. 7, just a matter of just getting everything together, and that's what you want to do. You want to set up a very tough preseason, so by the time you get into MPSF play, you have a lot of athleticism, and so you will go to those back row attacks, allowing yourself an opportunity to just spike it down super hard. But the block of Stanford read that one perfectly, sent that one away.
Like it's just trying to feel things out per se?
Yeah, I mean, you're going out there, you had a lot of time off. Now it's just a matter of fact of getting your guys conditioned, getting them ready, and getting them all going.
What denial!
This is going to be a really interesting match, by the way, the Cardinal. A lot of times they are the smaller team. Their front line is the team of the Warriors. They're going to go out there and play some power volleyball on their own regard.
And let's talk a little bit more about Jessup, right? A program that any pro team that would be starting up. They're not giving draft picks. They're not giving guys. It's just whoever you can get.
Yeah, and so NCAA national champions. You got to get that right. They didn't just win their conference, head coach of the women's volleyball team, but just the amount of work on his plate to put together a team that ended up going, I believe it was 18. And for this, it's just you have all this momentum going for you. You recruit so much talent from this Division I, Division II mix-up that we have.
I mentioned earlier, too, as well, Jessup is kind of coming off of a big rest, right, going into this one. We asked Kyle Steele about that. And what could be the difference between rest and rust? You know, that's the biggest thing you want to avoid right there. And he mentioned he allowed his team to rest because they did go on a long road streak. They have yet to play at home. This is the closest that they played at home all season to start off. And now it's almost like resetting the season as he kind of continues to extend the lead further.
Knudsen only 6'2", having to really go up there and elevate to try to get the points off. And just when you don't have that height, you can't quite get that angle on the block right in front and have that consistent run, building up this 5-point lead.
Marks is the one to send it over. He's going to be the one to set it up as well, and it's going to be kept alive from the Cardinal defense and sent over.
And the athleticism of Snooey allows him to go in that back line and play instead of being subbed out for maybe a defensive player. And just that on display gives you the attacking prowess back there.
And maybe you can hear the chants, but it's Mo's time to send it away. And just like that.
And Owen Henning, he's listed as a middle blocker. So when you have a middle blocker so small, you have to work with such tempo right
there. And that halts a lot of the momentum that the Warriors just gained from that possession. And that's a big thing as well. Wapush is in every category of kills and kills per set.
Getting the receive right there as well.
He can't get it there. How about you send it back to the other man? And it's sent up by Wapush. Kept up, staying on the net. And just out of bounds. And perseverance from the Warriors.
Really just a calm, collected effort from Colin Marks to recycle, and eventually sent it wide, forced the power, and that one went out of play.
Owen Henning is the one who sends it over.
And Snooey wasn't able to really calibrate his shot, just had to let it fly out. An error here. And now let's see if Jessup can use a little bit of this momentum to push.
Henning way too strong with that one. That goes way out into the stands. And a big service error from the Warriors.
5 service errors already for Jessup out in the situation, and it's even harder when you cannot get that serve right.
Morrison gives one right back.
That's just the nature with the way that you have the effort.
You have a nice little jump serve in you.
I was an underhand server in PE volleyball. I sent that thing to the sky, but I definitely didn't have a jump serve like these guys.
Hey, but you kept it in play. Is that what?
And the difference with the size advantage going the way of Stanford is it gives you a little more time in the air to kind of make your decision. You don't have to necessarily go up as quickly.
Warriors for Knudsen. That possession started with Knudsen. We're going to check to see if he's going to want to review.
Yeah, Coach
Costi.
Coach Costi walked up.
As it's sent down, and the Cardinal get the point back anyway with Luke McFall. Going back on that commercial, though, wow. That is a throwback of
Still, yeah.
Before a timeout? Definitely not, as that one sent way too strong by Teo Snooey.
I know, there was I forget what game, or he didn't hit me. So, sportsmanship coming up. Everybody's taught to be so emotionally intelligent in this modern day and that's kind of.
And another rejection. Wapush can't get it over.
This is where you got to work with some more tempo for Jessup.
The Cardinal have really designed their play so far to halt Wapush.
Yeah.
You notice every single time he's ready to go up and try
attacks in the 5 matches. That's leading the team in that category. And he's been doing it in a high percentage. So when you expect the offense to go
to Wapush, and this time a little bit too much air on that one as he was trying to get it over the wall, and he got it up and over the line.
Such a nice run being able to build up this advantage. You had a couple of points in a row off some errors from Stanford, but it seems like they've really tightened everything up. Communication has been a lot better. You're dotting your I's, you're crossing talent that we possess, and against a team like Jessup, this is the best possible situation for the Cardinal. Going in, you have a team that's essentially playing their very first, And for the Cardinal, it's saying, hey, we need to evoke our presence. We need to be the better team, and we cannot play down to the opponent, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Right,
yes.
They play these heavy, high-ranked opponents. And the reason why they do that is because of the conference that they're in. They're in an MPSF conference with teams like
the UCLA, number 4 ranked USC, number 8 ranked BYU, number 6 ranked Pepperdine, and the lowest ranked member of the MPSF, Stanford, at 7.
Now, in this Stanford Cardinal team is trying to sharpen themselves for when they come around.
Last national championship for the Card came in 2010. In quite a while for the Cardinal, and hey, what better year than 2026, huh?
No, can't think of any better year. And, you know, also talking about Jessup as well, right? They're a team that's been growing. And you talk about the Division I opponents playing against those Division I players. And now, again, as you mentioned, second year in the program, a much longer training session and going into it all, not just being the defense of the Cardinal does a great job. Again, leading on the front end. We've been calling his name a lot. Carrera. Moses Wagner sends it over. Wagner's had most of the success when it comes to serves, and that time he won't get a second one as Jessup with a great response.
Fortunate response in that situation. Owen Henning and his setter were just kind of off the mark there. Colin Mark
on 23-18. I don't think you'd rather have anyone else serving right now at the moment. Sent over. Cardinal getting their response. And Moses Wagner has set up a 24-18 hold.
Set point there.
The player of the week for MPSF. And straight to the net goes that one. Trying to get the perfect serve on that, but just a little too sharp.
You can see in his face walking.
So now Owen Henning has a chance. This would be an incredible job from the Warriors. He gets it barely over, so a tough response here for the set. What a job from the Stanford Cardinal, really dominating on the offensive side. And for the Warriors, just some things to tune up, but all the mistakes that they made. They only lost that first set by 6.
Yeah, you got to be feeling pretty good. It's got to feel like a going far side miscommunication here for the Warriors. Briette, back row attack, Rotman! Too far.
Tried themselves an opportunity.
Colin Marks to that back line. We talked about it. The brothers out of Woodland, California, one of them going out of Concordia University.
Another service there for the Warriors, and we talked about that when we were really looking at that first set. Can the Warriors
go over? It was dove in under by Wapush to get the receive, but I think everybody had already checked out in that situation.
Yeah, it was a great job from the
lining up there, receive from the libero. Set up right side. Moses Wagner rips it off the block. We talked about Moses Wagner having a...
Especially for Moses Wagner, he's going to be a guy that's going to get a lot of attempts. You're going to keep seeing him again and again and again, and he's going to continue.
Matter of some of these upperclassmen coming together, telling everyone to collect yourself and keep it moving.
I mean, we're just talking about the servers.
Did he collect any hands? No, he did not.
Do you know what that was right there? That was the pressure right there by Osahan. His presence right there, him standing above him, we know how much.
On a little run of their own, 4 serving 2, and the server's error is going to give the point back over to the Card. For Jessup in this situation.
This thing is in most games where you see a David and a Goliath, David doesn't make too many mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. In this situation, Moses Wagner with another service error.
Yeah. The Warriors now with a 5-3 lead. This is their biggest lead they've held so far in each of the 2 sets.
And you have a lot of new bodies in this party as he tries to make the diving attempt, and the kill collected in by Alex Rotman. But you do have a lot of new bodies that are trying to put everything together for the Warriors.
But I feel like, especially when you get to the college level, on the higher levels of college, many of these people have the measurables as we have the set here. I'll go back to my point after that. They can jump super high. They got the height. They got the athletic ability. What it comes down to at that point is coaching. And that is a big testament to Coach Kyle.
Off power by Wapush. Couldn't collect it. Great defense on display on both sides, but it's a 7-4 advantage here for Jessup. And that left side off the block, getting the kill.
What a job by Teo Snooey. He is so athletic.
Just gets Irvine. He led the MPSF last season in kills and points. And when you have the type of talent like Wagner and Snooey, you've got quite a squad under your belt. And a talented swing on the left-hand side. Jan Wapush bringing the boom.
Just like that power that he brings every single time he tries to send a kill.
Clement Osahan to the back line. The front line of the Warriors is locked.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, even though these guys, they're not standing at the tallest in college, they have the athletic ability, and a big show of that is Owen come out now in this second set, and this looks like a completely different team.
The former NCAA first-team All-American getting the block. For about the fourth time in the set, we've seen the Cardinal with balls going too long. You just have to tighten everything in just a bit.
A little out of rhythm, but one thing I also want to make, they were just kind of testing things out, testing the waters, trying to see how things work against an opponent like the Cardinal, and this right now looks to be the line.
As the momentum has fully gone the way of the Warriors. Warriors on a 4-0 run, forcing the timeout.
Junior, because this guy, whoa, he's so athletic, so talented on the defensive side. He's actually made a huge impact on the offensive side, but winning at his guys, and that's exactly what the Warriors needed. You know, when you're the underdogs like they are, mentality is, we got nothing to lose.
Action going out there on the court on YouTube as well. And when you have a personality like that, you have to live up to it. It's not just a trait. It is who you are. You're just making too many mistakes in this situation. The Cardinal here in the second set only hitting, they dropped down to 250 in the set. Work back within system and just get everything tightened.
Well, I think the mentality, too, is not to think of it as to school like Jessup, who is only continuing to grow and only continuing to get better as it seems like every game is going. This is a team coming in on a win streak, too. We got to remember that.
Continue to pile on another point for the Warriors.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I'd like to see is, I know he was on the service there, but if they're continuing to go to the far side, and has been no success so far.
Currently on a 5-0 run. Coming from his middle blocker position. A high percentage attack is exactly what you needed here. Trailing by 6. Get yourself going now.
Yeah, just don't overthink it. Watch out.
The dump on 2. A very heads-up play by Owen Henning going up there and getting the point. Pardon me. It was
few and far between, but sometimes the center is able to make a great read, and that's why they're almost like the quarterback
100%
of the offense, right? They engineer where guys go, when to attack.
And the Card set up Snooey on the right-hand side to get the kill. The thing about that last position, when you have Briette in that back line, it allows you to have aggressively in your setup for the Cardinal.
Oh, big miscommunication there.
And a big block in the middle there. Luke McFall goes out, gets the kill in the red shirt junior. Most aggressive servers and Snooey an opportunity to pelt and push on that pressure.
I was just about to say, let Snooey continue to get his serves.
Right side.
Or serves.
Luke McFall went up for that fake, allowing that setup and that cross-court shot to work out perfectly. Add assist in the left-hand attack, chiseling off the block, and the kill made.
But what's really to be mentioned for here for the Warriors is in that first set, you never really saw possessions like that where Stanford gets a point after a big score, and then
they went out and chiseled off the block. Double block sent there, hit the antenna.
Wow.
The official didn't see it, and the point goes out of play. It is the
everyone to back away there. You can see it right there, and that's a great job from the libero.
Yeah, libero getting a good job there, and Cardinal, I don't think they would have gotten that point.
So another one standing at 6'2". Yeah, funny. I was almost going to say small guys, but these really aren't small guys. Just when you go in comparison, obviously, to the standard of
bigger guy. I'm 6'1". I'm so small in comparison to every single one of these guys. When you're over at Maples and you're sitting courtside, you're looking up, and it's like trees.
I'd give a lot of credit to for the Warriors is those smaller guys on the team, I'll just say it like that, I guess, is they're really stepping up on the front lines because, you know, always, every single time it rotates around, everyone's going to get here.
So Ryan Duras, the senior out of Gilroy, getting some opportunities to play now. Only played in the second match against UCI, had an ace, had 4
in his career.
Great jobs, drop serve, leading to the overpass, and they set up the right side. Moses Wagner coming and collecting that money.
Stealing something out of the book of the Warriors there. Nice.
Senior out of San Jose, when you see him in warm-ups, he jumps over the net and throws both his arms over. The net is sitting at essentially 8 feet. And he's able to clear that out. Kill. Alex Rotman comes out. The outside hitter out of Santa Barbara, hitting above 300 on the year. And he has been such a steady.
To just have to toss it over and a soft toss over, that just sets up a great offensive possession for the Cardinals, especially out of position.
Rotman at 6'6", standing along the Warriors in this situation. And what was a minus 100 beginning of the set for Stanford, they're currently hitting 167, so they climb up 200 percentage points in the run. you got to just tighten things up. I mean, I've been hitting this point over and over again, but it really is exactly that. You need to be who you are. You cannot play down to your opponent. You cannot allow their energy to affect your energy. You got to go out there, play your ball one at a time.
1 point at a time. Just continue to work back. What they've done a great job is for the Cardinals slowing down the game a little bit. They've been able to get full offensive possessions going up. There's a great timeout, first of all, because, yes, Cardinal, you could just feel the energy in the room. All the momentum starting to go their way. For the Warriors, on their hand, to keep the lead that they currently have, getting a clean offensive possession on their end, it just kind of sets up the Cardinal perfectly to stay on the offensive and to continue to apply the pressure.
Ryan Duras still at that back line. Attack from the left-hand side. Goes wide. The attack there by Jacob Knudsen, unable to stay in play. And the run for the Card continues at 4.
It's basically forcing them to make the mistake.
It's very difficult to get a clean receive and get your offense going. And just forcing the situations with those drop serves is setting it up. Right side into the block. Reach.
Goodness, Rahman. Wow, the way this Cardinal defense has adjusted is so well.
Continue to speak. It turns into a 5-1 run. The service of Duras goes awry, but that big chunk allows the Card to get back into this one as Owen Henning lets serve over here. A one-handed set forces that overpass. Setting up, quick middle attack, and the kill. Giving you a chance to get that kill.
Also to the mistake on the Cardinals side offensively, little miscommunication to send it over. They didn't get a real kill opportunity there. And that's
power, and now he goes finesse. Alex Rotman has been a lifeline for the Card here in the second set.
Yeah, he
with the drop serve. Over the net, setting left side into the smaller blocker. The hands of Briette trying to get that block, wasn't able.
Warriors' way here that's allowed them to keep a hold of this lead. But let's see what can happen here with Jonas.
The 6'5" freshman out of Germany. Play. Once again, when Jessup is able to be in system, they are able to have success. They're doing it in a little bit of a different way as they're playing with a slower.
I think Jessup also start to find their best success again when they go to this rotation. This lineup is where they really got to extend the lead.
Great read there, going on 2. 18 serving 19, and more importantly, Kneissel has a very strong serve, but he has struggled in the last few matches. Back by Knudsen. Briette setting left side. Stewie off the block. This one goes out of play. Pinpoint accuracy from the senior.
Great job right now adjusting to how this defense is going and really adjusting to Clement.
The former Colorado Player of the Year in the back line, orchestrating this run from the Card. A back row attack.
Same exact kind of fake outs with Osahan, and then it usually goes over to the left side. But I love the move of going from the back, push, so it keeps the same angle right down the middle.
18 serving 20.
I feel like that's a moment of trying to do a little too much there, I think, from Knudsen. He really looked for the perfect serve in them.
And as the setter in the back line, the freshman will get an opportunity to run some offense now. Sets up, left side, Stewie, off the block, down the line, and we are all knotted up 20 apiece.
Done an incredible job on the offensive side.
Stewie was the leader in the MPSF in kills a season ago, showing off his offensive prowess. Little Phillips from that back line.
What the skills and the power that he possesses. So Little trying to go a little bit there.
Setting up the middle, McFall with the big attack. Great defense played by the Warriors. Right side, Wagner with the kill.
My good.
We went commercials earlier. Let's go Taco Bell. ¿Por qué no los dos? Oh no, that's the tortilla bread. Yeah, sorry. Going left side. Back over to Wapoosh.
Oh, there's a discussion here on the tip.
And our official here on the near hand side.
Opportunity to use a challenge if you'd like for a play like this, you know. Especially a moment this late. 1 point really does make the difference. It could be a 2-point swing here.
So the second, and it looks like they will stick with it here. 21. Turn that 22, serving 21, and the Cardinal. It is a challenge. I did not see a challenge out of the pocket of Kyle Steele.
I saw Steele talk to him, though, and the official also was interesting. He kind of doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they tightened everything up. They went out there. They cleaned up their mistakes. Currently hitting 308 like we were talking about, hitting 100 after the first time out. And this goes off. It'll stop the play. They're going to reserve it. So replaying the point in that situation, that's a little bit of a disadvantage. That was a great serve from Briette.
That was a great serve from
one in play. Going to the left side. Wapoosh, cocks back, hits the antenna, and the run for the card continues. A 9-4 run, 23-21.
I saw the hand. I saw a deflection off the hand, but again,
well, it was off the antenna, so it doesn't necessarily.
It was close because the hand was close to the net. That's exactly the side he was going from.
So they will reverse the call. No challenge needed in that situation. Yeah. And the run from
the pressure there to the official and let him know, hey, I think you want to talk this one over.
And your best server on the back line in Colin Marks. Luke McFall with authority. 20.
A lot of the seniors have been stepping up here in the second half of this second set.
Teo Sinui, back line, cocks that right hand, and a shotgun rifle into the back line.
We go. It's really looking for what could be the first team to get 2 in a row here and get a real hold of this one.
This serve, setting right side, Wagner just has to send it over with 2 hands. Big swing, right side, goes wide, point card.
Wow. Wow, very forward extent that he would have liked to have had it. And Jessup just tried to go for the perfect shot there and couldn't get it.
Fans on their feet at set point, 24-23, and we'll go to extra points.
That goes back to my previous point. Again, just, you don't have to get the perfect serve in that moment, especially when you're on set point. Put it in play. See what can happen.
McFall's usually it. And a set point for Jessup in this situation. 25 serving 24. High serve dug up in the back line by Rotman. Going back row attack. Snooey ties it up. 25-20.
Moses Wagner is going to be the one to send it off.
Wagner back line. Big swing in the dig there by Marks. Setting up the right side. Kisses that on display from the Deutschman. Rotman just continues to pave his way forward.
Foot here because they have to get 3 in a row to win it. Well, so they're looking for their second one right now. But it's very hard right now the way Jessup's been playing, and what a serve though.
Just barely matchup if I'm not mistaken. And couldn't have come in a better situation. Rotman gets the kill, that's 1 point. Another point on the ace, and now puts this one into play. The goal back row attack, and we're all.
A needle threaded though, just going right in between the 2 defenders on the back line. What a finish.
And a server's error from that back line. That was nuts and inning lead.
And now you give it right into the hands of Carrera.
Carrera initiating. Just keeps this one into play. A quick set apiece.
Oh my goodness. This is such a fun set. I am loving the energy that both sides are bringing right now.
Son was the man initiating when the Warriors were able to go on a 6-0 run.
Yep.
They need 2 points in this situation.
He's got great serves right now. He's in a flow.
Going the left once more. This time with the finesse. Tipped it over the shorter block on the left side, and it's 29 serving 28. So just going back to that last play, but because it hit on their side of the net, it allowed you to go ahead and play off that ball. Stanford still able to get the point, but in that situation, just, oh man, not those numbers. But for the Cardinal, what happened is they tightened everything up. They went on an 8-4 run that allowed them to get the opportunity to push it all the way towards those final points.
Here with the serve.
Heads held up high. They still get a ton of confidence. And a big job right there. Luke McFall, man. That is how you
get the whole entire Cardinal offense. I mean, Moses Wagner, Teo Sinui, Alex Rotman, the big 3 that you expected to have an impact as Teo Sinui has
had 4 kills in that set. Rotman had 4 kills as well. Your big-time players stepped up when it mattered the most.
That's the 3rd service error for Teo Sinui. Great efficiency from McFall in this one. Just hasn't had too many opportunities to this point, but has made them all count.
They've gone to McFall, whether it's on the defensive side or whether it is on the offense with that quick attack.
Hitting 66% right now is McFall as that one deflects back
on the play, and you're able to get your hands just off of it at the final moment.
Here come the Cardinal with McFall from Jessup playing to the aggressiveness of the Cardinal defense.
Yeah, and the block for the Card just a little slow in that situation. It forced Wagner to go up there. And then almost a
push. Said, 8 total serves to this point, leading the team in service errors 2 with 3, but that one gets over, and that one is sent right back down with 5. That time, though, he contributes to the offensive side, now 2 for 4.
And going almost second tempo in that situation was fast, but it wasn't quite bang, bang fast. And that
for that one
went off the hands of Briette, I believe, who went up for the block.
So Jessup now with a couple of when it's set 2 or set 1 where one team really took it early and started to run away with it.
Overpass and a mistake on the
But again, a big player, great impact that he's had on this team so far. You want to keep giving him opportunities. And here it goes on the offensive side. Talk about a guy you want to give opportunity.
To the net, this is almost like the home side and the away side perfectly splitting the net. Stanford has their home fans on their back. Jessup has their home fans on their...
It was Pully as that one's deflected back. And it's going to be out of bounds. Cardinal get the point. And as I was mentioning, I said when you really...
Yeah, they will soon.
Oh, way too strong. And a rare mistake that we saw here from Clement.
Daria Gusarova and Sophie Kubiak up the squad as well.
As Kamana's going to send it over way too soft on that one. And another service error for the Cardinal now. While they do have the lead here in set 3 to respond. Here we go again. That time, though, too quick on the draw is Osahan Jr.
And we were talking him trails by 3 in the third.
Again, trailing by 3 in set 3. Cardinal leading 2 sets is where they were really able to kind of mount on and really start a streak with their serves. And that Osahan Jr. was a big factor to that one as keeping the first sand, which counted as that first one.
They didn't call it off a touch. They called that one a full contact with Koch. They counted to go up to 4 in that situation.
But as we mentioned, Cardinal, what a good job on the front side. Briette.
So those last 2 points for the Card happened because of Mac was going wide and just spazzing out a little bit, not giving yourself an opportunity.
McFall is the one to serve it. He's the one to keep it alive here, and it's going to have to be sent all the way over by Rumman. Here comes
out, showing off that he is cash money on that left side. Got that guap and that moolah.
Wopoosh is now going to be the one to serve. One to gather. It's going to be set all the way over, and a little too strong for Evan Porter. A rare mistake that we saw from Porter so far in set 3 for a guy who's been really the MVP so far.
Oh, he has been money, getting all the playing time at
9 the score in set 3. Wopoosh, too strong. Another.
At this point, it felt like he has his hands all over this one.
Here comes Moses Wagner, 12-9 the score in set 3. Wagner, strong liner to the back end, and sent back, and oh my.
Snooey had a great position in that situation, but the shot just kind of dropped on him. That's a great play there by Knudsen, able to get a little bit of confidence back, and let's see if he can build off.
That sets up the Cardinal again, and that's now 3 times where the Warriors have made a great defensive play, flipped it, gone to their... What a send-over, soft touch by Osahan Jr.
Man.
And here it is again, 13-11, and this is going to be a big possession here for the Warriors if they want to see...
Showed by the middle blocker.
Great deception in that one. There was no discipline there, just straight power on the offensive side from Teo Snoop. Kamana Carrera, he's done a great job on the defensive side for this Cardinal team. Soft tapper over.
That situation, he didn't know if he wanted to go with his front middle blocker or if he wanted to go with the back row attack. Both men went up there. He put it right in between the two of them, and unfortunately for Jessup.
Biggest thing that you've noticed right now from the Cardinal team that's really working so far to give them the lead and really kind of flip the script from how set 2 went.
Oh, they're just carrying on the momentum, that 8-4 run, allow themselves the opportunity to go up there and finish the set hitting 600. In this situation, it is just the Cardinal team doing what they do in winning sets, not making...
And for the Warriors, you know, again, kind of lost all the momentum that they had in set 2.
Yeah.
That was their chance to get right back in this one. We're even at 1-1, and now it's 2-0 with the entire match on the line, hinging on this third set.
And a little bit of fatigue could possibly happen. You had 17 days between the match. You haven't played in that third set. And, 17 days in that situation.
Yep, and balance between the two. It's so hard to find. And right now, for the Warriors, still kind of trying to shake a little bit of it off. And they do so there. As you mentioned, Osahan Jr. with an opportunity, and he takes advantage.
That's where you want to be. When you need a point, you want to go.
Warriors with their response. Wopoosh! gets it over. What a battle won by the Warriors.
Big play in that situation. Wagner in it.
Well, especially because that possession right there, so hard fought for the Cardinal to not win it. But right there, they get the quick response back, and that halts any sort of momentum the Warriors are going to get. But to my point, that's where the Warriors need to take.
Like Tim Tebow, his attacks had that kind of curl and then swing, but this time around went with the quick straight attack down the middle, and that tempo worked out perfectly.
And the efficiency of Luke McFall has really made a big impact for this Cardinal team. It's going over to Moses Wagner, and Wagner sends it over. That response,
right position, trying to power through it was Wapoosh, and just instead, hey, you got the luck of it just ripped off the arms.
Just the luck, exactly. No other way to explain it. Right, good time. They got double digits in a minute, or back-to-back, I should say, not double digits, but back-to-back here in set 3.
Yeah, out of system attack there. You need to just go back into your system. You need to go with your quick attacks with your
on the setup, and Wapoosh couldn't get to that one.
Yeah, receives it. You need to go back to fundamentals. That's really what it is. Receive.
19-15. Teo Snui over and past the line. Very close.
Snui put such a great
85%. He just put 86 right on it. 19-16 the score here in set 3. And a soft toss. Here comes Owen Henning. 21-18. Here in set 3, and as you mentioned, they can't trade at this point in the set.
Yeah, you can't trade side outs.
Veteran knowledge of Briette.
And that is part of the reason why Briette has come in and taken back his starting position at the center. It's everything in addition to setting.
With the serve in. Tried to go for the perfect one there and off to the left.
Taniso coming in as a young player. The junior out of Colorado had some opportunities from the service line a moment ago, but the service error will give the point back over to Jessup.
Comes from the carbon jumper.
That was all Osahan. Every single part
that he gets, the hang time that he had on that one was really the big story there, because if I were to say from my point of view, I think he jumped early.
Yeah, absolutely, but he has the so tall, but they just fly. If you put them on a basketball court, they just be lob threats time and time again. It gives you the opportunity, even if you don't necessarily.
On the line now in this match for the Warriors, a chance to keep it alive and move it to set 4, or for the Stanford Cardinal as they're looking on a chance to end it. They are 3 away from doing up from Jacob Little-Phillips. They're going to trust the freshman here to try to put it away. He puts up a great serve. Set down! Teo Snui makes it match point. And as I just...
2 setters on the floor. The offense is wide open, but you got to get that one in play first.
That might have been a bit of an announcer's jinx there. I have to apologize on my behalf there. As I once, but the Cardinal, a 3-0 sweep here at home versus the
negative percentages, and you find a way to turn around, hit 600. You finish off that third set hitting 444.